Welcome to Merrimack Valley Gourmet. I'm Lindsay and we are here with Chef Bethany Sullivan of Simply Elegant Catering. And Bethany, I hear you're preparing a fabulous Italian meal for us tonight.
I am. We're going to start off tonight with a shrimp Fra Diavolo. I love seafood and I love Italian food, so this is kind of what I thought would be a nice thing to cook out here on the deck. And so let's get started.
Good choice. I love Italian food too.
All right, so we are going to start with a pound of shrimp. So we're first going to drizzle our shrimp, our pound of shrimp, with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and about a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. This is kind of depending on taste. Some people like it spicier. That is what gives it the Fra Diavolo, but some people don't like it quite so spicy. You don't need a lot. So we're going to toss that. Next, I'm going to get the saute pan ready. We're going to put a little bit of the olive oil in the saute pan.
How high do you put the saute pan?
It's about medium high.
Okay.
I have an open flame here, so with an electric oven, you may have to put it a little higher.
Yeah.
All right, this pan is pretty hot, so we're going to add the shrimp.
So you don't want them to be too crowded in the pan?
Right.
Okay.
You just want to do a nice layer on the bottom of the pan, make sure they're all touching the heat. You're going to cook them until just about 1 to 2 minutes, just until they're translucent. We're going to flip them over, make sure they're just lightly cooked on the other side. You never want to overcook shrimp. It gets very rubbery very quickly. And we are going to add it back into the pan later for a minute, so you always can finish it off there.
Let's now finish off at the end.
Once the shrimp is red, it's done on one side, and I'm going to flip them over to the other.
Sometimes it can be tricky to know, when seafood is done.
Seafood is very tricky.
It cooks so quickly. So I see they've got a nice brown color around the edges.
Yes, a little bit of caramelization on that side. Now this is one of those dishes that you could really substitute other seafood in there if you'd like. I like lobster, and lobster prices were great this year, so we did that lobster in this dish a lot. You could do mussels, you could do scallops. Scallops you're going to saute just like the shrimp. Mussels and lobster, you'll steam them.
Okay.
And just add them in warm later.
Okay, so with the mussels or clams, you would steam them and then add them at the end?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How about, can you use fish?
Yeah, you could use pieces of whitefish, salmon even too. You could add anything in. I like to make this kind of base and really add any seafood that I have around.
That's great. Yes, you have a lot of different alternatives that you can make with it.
Absolutely. Sometimes I put all of them in, and then it's wonderful. All right, those are looking great. I am going to take these off now. Is exactly how you're going to want them to look. So we've just taken off our shrimp. We're going to set that aside. The next step, we're going to take a medium-sized onion, and we're going to slice it.
Any particular kind of onion we should use?
Just a regular onion.
Like a yellow onion?
Yep, a yellow onion. You can use a sweet onion if you'd like. I'm just going to sweeten up the dish a little bit, but it won't be too much.
Bethany, your knife skills are awesome.
Thank you, Lindsay. There we go. So we're not chopping it into little pieces. We're just going to give them nice little strips. We're going to warm up our skillet again and add a little bit more olive oil. And it's okay if there's little burnt pieces left from the shrimp. Those are just going to add to the flavor. So let's toss all of our onion in there. You're going to get some nice color on the onion. You're going to end up cooking them about 5 minutes. It'll take until they get translucent.
You don't want those to get brown.
Just a little bit. They can
Okay.
they'll take on a little bit of the color from the bottom of the pan, but you want them to just, you know, get a little bit of color. You want to be able to see through them. And they'll smell delicious.
Now, Bethany, what's the right time to start cooking the pasta? Should you start it while you're working on the sauce? Or?
We're gonna wait just a minute because once I
Okay.
add the other ingredients, it's gonna take about 10 minutes. It's just about how long the pasta takes.
Okay.
So we'll wait so it's coming out right as we're ready to toss it in.
Right. This would be a great meal for entertaining.
Oh, yes.
Like, everybody loves seafood.
Oh,
They love
absolutely.
shrimp.
And you can really customize it to your group.
Right, like you said.
Find out what everybody
fish
likes
or
and
whatever.
try it all. You could even do chicken in this if you weren't really a seafood person. You
okay.
could do a chicken dish just like this. The chicken would take a little bit longer than the shrimp, but same exact method otherwise. Well, the next items you're going to add to the onions is going to be the tomatoes. This is a can of 14.5-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You're also going to add 1 cup of dry white wine. And then we are going to dice up some garlic to go in there too. We're going to give that a stir, turn it up a little. We're going to let this thicken. This is going to take about 10 minutes.
Can you add more garlic?
You can. If you love garlic, add
garlic,
more.
I love
Yeah, but it's
garlic.
about 3 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
But really, with a recipe like this, you can play around with the garlic, the pepper, the seasonings, and stuff like that. So while that is going to go, I am going to throw in our pasta. We're going to do a pound. You can use linguine. You can use the...
I love that shape.
Yes,
So
I love this
cool.
shape. It is like the little edges of the lasagna,
Right. It looks like a
and
little
it's my
tiny
favorite
lasagna
for this.
noodle.
Yeah. We'll put about a pound of that in there. And again, that takes, it's 7 to 8 minutes. So it should be done just about the same time. So like a linguine, a spaghetti, anything like that will go along with fettuccine. Let's check on this. It's okay if it boils a little, that's gonna let it reduce. That's the way it won't burn, because there's plenty of liquid in there. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper. And then we're gonna add about a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, dried oregano.
Oh, that looks fabulous.
It smells delicious,
It does,
doesn't it?
it really does.
Unfortunately, the audience can't smell it, but if they try, it smells wonderful.
You have to make it at home so you can smell it.
There's nothing like garlic and onions and tomatoes cooking. Give this a quick toss over here to make sure it's not sticking together. Right. So we've given our sauce a couple minutes to thicken up, and it's ready, as well as our pasta. So we're gonna put everything back together and assemble this dish.
Awesome.
So let's start with the shrimp. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of fresh basil that's been chopped, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley that's been chopped. Kind of give that a little mix.
That's a pretty green color too.
Yeah.
Looks really nice.
And then I'm going to take some of this pasta. Put on the dish here. We're going to place the shrimp right down on top of it with the onions and all that delicious tomatoes, onions, and shrimp.
Let's so beautiful and it smells so good.
So we're almost all set, except every Italian dish I like to top off with some cheese.
Fantastic. It wouldn't be the same without a little Parmesan.
Yes. And there we go. So there is our shrimp Fra Diavolo over linguine. Lindsay,
I get
do
to
the
try it
honors.
right. All right.
Be careful, it might still be pretty warm in there. Might be hard though. Just nail one on that.
Okay. I'm just gonna pick this up.
Good.
It's unbelievable.
Not too spicy?
Nope.
Excellent.
It's just perfect. If you love seafood, you'll go nuts over this. It's so good.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, we'll come right back and we're going to be making some raspberry tiramisu.
All right. Sounds good. And we are back. We're out here on the sunset deck here at Merrimack Valley Golf Club, but the sun has set. And Bethany is making a fabulous Italian dessert for us.
Now we're ready for round 2 of our Italian dinner. We're making a raspberry tiramisu. Now, I love nothing more than dessert. Dessert is my favorite, and I love tiramisu. There are lots of ways to make it. There's lots of things you can do with it. The traditional way is a coffee flavor. Today we're gonna make a raspberry tiramisu. So the way we're gonna start off, we do have a cup of seedless raspberry jam. So now we're gonna add some orange liqueur to our raspberry jam. In a traditional tiramisu, we'd be adding like a Kahlua.
Are there any other alternatives you could add other than the Grand Marnier? Could you like a raspberry liqueur or
Yeah, really anything.
almond liqueur, something like that?
Whatever you like. You can
Okay.
you can really play around with something like this. So we put 4 tablespoons in there. Gonna mix that up. Just get it all incorporated together.
Wow, I can smell that orange. It smells fabulous.
So next we're gonna go on to make our mascarpone cream to fill our tiramisu with. We're gonna start with 1.5 pounds of room temperature mascarpone cheese. To that we are gonna add another 2 tablespoons of the Grand Marnier. We're gonna stir that up a little. Next step is we're gonna whip up some whipped cream over here in the mixer. I've got 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. To that I'm gonna put in 1/4 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're gonna put that on high.
Okay. Now, are there any other alternative flavors you could use, like strawberry or orange?
I could think strawberry because you could find strawberry liqueur or and
like
then you
strawberry
can
jam.
layer strawberries. Yep, yep. With the jam, you want to stay seedless because your fruit's probably going to have the seeds in it. That way, you're not getting too much crunch into your dessert.
Right.
You're going to want to whip the cream until soft peaks form. You don't want it to look like cream, like cottage cheese.
Right.
You want it to look smooth.
Okay.
It's starting to get there. All right, let me just give it another second. Okay, perfect. So we're going to incorporate the whipped cream into our mascarpone. So we're going to start with just 1/4 of it. And I'm going to fold that. Folding means lightly mixing. You don't want to deflate your whipped cream.
So it stays nice and fluffy.
Nice and
light.
fluffy, yeah. We're going to fold the rest of the whipped cream in. And now we have a nice, light and fluffy mascarpone whipped cream Grand Marnier mixture here. All right, we are getting ready to assemble. And this is the fun part. So Lindsay, would you like to help out?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get all of our components here. You've got the dish. This is a 9 by 13. You can really use any dish you have and kind of customize the size to whatever you need. So what we're going to use as our bottom layer are these lady fingers. I got these at the store. You can make them. You can also use pound cake, any kind of sponge cake, whatever you prefer is great to use. These are lovely because you can, they pretty much fit perfectly in the 9 by 13 pan. So we're going to line those up if you want to line up the next step.
And these are great because they're nice and absorbent.
Yes, they're going to take on the
nice
flavor of whatever you put in there. put the puzzle pieces together. No, it's beautiful, beautiful. All right. On top of those, we're going to put some of our jam and Grand Marnier mixture, about half of it. Now, if you want to take that spoon there and we'll spread it out a little.
Okay.
All right. Kind of give it a nice even layer there. This is the fun part. This is the part that, you know, everybody can help out with.
Right, the kids can help out with, anybody.
All
Might
right.
really be all over this.
So the next layer is going to be some of the whipped cream. You're going to want to use half of what you have in there. It's a little tricky because you don't want to mix it in with that jam. You kind of just want to layer it right over the top. Nice layer there. Next up are going to be some raspberries. So let's grab those raspberries and we'll do a layer of those.
Oh, aren't these gorgeous?
Yeah, they're in season right now, so they're looking great.
And they're so big and perfect.
So we'll just take some of these and this is just the middle layer so it doesn't have to look pretty.
Okay.
Just kind of scatter them all over there. You're using about 3 3/4 cups of raspberries. It's about 3 of the little dry pints you get in the store. Any empty spots there?
Looks good. What do you think?
There we go.
More,
beautiful.
one more there.
All right, so we're going to start over again from the bottom. Let's put the end of the ladyfingers on. Kind of stick those down on.
Okay.
Similar to a trifle.
Right.
Assembling a trifle. Yeah.
A layer of the ladyfingers and the cream, the jam,
Let's put the rest of the jam on here.
This would be a great thing to do with anybody. With kids, with guests even.
Oh yeah, you could definitely.
People could do their own.
All right, looks good. And then we're going to top it off with the rest of this whipped cream. Make a nice even layer on the top.
Looks gorgeous. You said you love dessert. I love dessert.
Yes.
Favorite
Oh,
meal.
absolutely.
Favorite part of the meal.
Sometimes I skip dinner and we just go for dessert. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to put another layer of raspberries on top. All right.
Okay.
Really whatever design you like. I like to just put them in lines.
Okay.
Because I'm very...
You like to make it look perfect.
I do. This is where me and Lindsay get messy. This whole table's going to be covered in raspberries any second. All right, beautiful. Looks good.
Yes.
So we're going to take this and we're going to chill it for at least 3 hours in the refrigerator. You can chill it overnight. It'll set even better. So with TV Magic, I'll be back in just a second with the finished product. So through TV Magic, here is our finished project that has been chilling all day. A lot prettier because I took a lot more time. We're kind of battling mosquitoes out here right now, so we're a little quicker.
It looks amazing. It's stunning. And I would have to try a bite.
So what we're going to do just to finish it off, we're going to dust it with some powdered sugar. Because if there wasn't enough sweetness in there already.
I would have gone into it without the sugar. It still looks good.
So here
that
we go.
does look really nice.
Everything's better with a layer of sugar on top. All right. So there's the finished product, the raspberry tiramisu, and I'm going to cut into that for you to try it out. And there we go, Lindsay.
Ready. I've been waiting for this all night. Oh, wow.
Good.
It is so good. I love the way the mascarpone and the raspberries, it's a perfect combination.
Excellent. Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming down here again.
It was fun. Always thanks, Bethany. Thanks to Simply Elegant Catering. We had a great night out here on the Sunset Deck at Merrimack Valley Golf Club. And keep on cooking simply and elegantly. See you next time.